Hello students. So today we will be discussing about water resources. You already know that water is a natural resource, but water is also a vital and renewable resource. Why water is so important? Because 3/4 of the earth's surface is covered with water. That is 75% of the earth's surface is covered with water. That is why this planet Earth is also called as water planet or blue planet. It is also a renewable resource, that is, it can be renewed again and again. How? Through the process of water cycle. So what is water cycle? So this cycle starts when water on the surface of the earth evaporates. So water collects as water vapor in the sky and this makes clouds. Next, the water in the clouds gets matured or cooled, which makes it become to liquid again, and this process is called condensation. Then the water from the sky, they fall as rain or snow, which is called precipitation. Due to precipitation, the water gets accumulated in the lakes and oceans. It again evaporates due to heat of the sun and the cycle continues. This is how the water gets renewed, and this process is called water cycle. As we know, 75% of the earth's surface is covered with water, but out of those 75%, only 2.7% are available as fresh water. Other are ocean water, which is very salty, and those are not fit for human consumption. And out of this 2.7%, only 1% of this fresh water is available and fit for human use. And these are found as groundwater, rivers, lakes, etc. Let's see some of the uses of water. You already know that water is used for domestic purposes like cooking, washing, drinking, and it is also used for agricultural purposes, for irrigation, then for industries, generating electricity through reservoirs of dams. For all these purposes, we use water in our day-to-day life. Now, let's see some of the major causes of water shortage. So first is your increasing population. So as the population is increasing, the demand for water is also increasing. Second is your rising demand for food and cash crops. So due to increase in population, the demand for food is also increasing. So we need water for agricultural purposes. Then comes your increasing urbanization, rising standards of living, then pollution. You all know that water everywhere, not a drop to drink. So water, though it is available, but still as it is polluted, so it is not fit for consumption. And mostly human beings are only responsible for this pollution of water. Next is your overuse of water. So due to increase in population, there is overuse of water. That is, human beings are unnecessarily overusing and also unnecessarily wasting water, which leads to water shortage. As standard of living is also rising, various developmental activities are taking place which also needs water. Industries, factories, they also need water for machines to run. Then people from rural areas, they are migrating to urban areas in search of jobs or for other better facilities. So there is increase in urbanization. So there also people need water. So for all these reasons, we are facing water shortage. Now come to problems of water availability. So there is scarcity of water in many regions of the world. So where mostly Africa, West Asia, South Asia, parts of Western USA, Northwest Mexico, parts of South America and Australia, these all are facing shortages in fresh water supply. and the countries which are located in climatic zones which are more susceptible or prone to droughts, they also face great problems of water scarcity. So water shortage, it may be the consequence or result of either variation in seasonal or annual precipitation, or we can say it is due to over exploitation or contamination of water sources. Now let's move to conservation of water resources. So we already know that water is a very important resource. It is also a renewable resource, but its overuse and pollution has made it unfit for use. So the major problem of today's world is shortage of this clean and adequate water sources. Therefore, we need to conserve water. Steps should be taken to conserve water, because water is something we can't live without. We need it in our day-to-day life. So this sewage, the agricultural chemicals, like we use the pesticides, chemical fertilizers for agricultural purposes, then the industrial waste that are discharged directly into the rivers without treatment, they all pollute the water with nitrates, metals and pesticides. So let's see what are the steps that should be taken to conserve water. First, that is forest and other vegetation cover. They slow the surface runoff and replenish underground water. That means we need to plant more and more trees also. Next is water harvesting method, which can be used to save surface runoff. So what is this water harvesting method? We can say that is rainwater harvesting. That is the process of collecting rainwater in rooftops. So here you can see this rainwater harvesting system. It is the process where the rainwater is collected in rooftops and they are directed to an appropriate location where it is stored for future use. Here rainwater is collected and through conduits or pipes it is directed here and it is stored for future use. So this is your catchment area, and it is a surface which directly receives the rainfall and provides water to the system. It can be a paved area like your terrace or courtyard of a building. Then this is your conduit, that we say pipeline. So these are pipelines which carry the rainwater from the catchment or the rooftop to the harvesting system. So this is all about your water harvesting system, through which you can conserve the water for future use. So canals which are used for irrigation, that should be also properly checked for water losses through seepage. And in dry regions, that we say mostly desert areas where there is high rates of evaporation, scarcity of water, so drip or trickle irrigation is very useful. So what is this drip or trickle irrigation? So it is an irrigation method that saves water and fertilizer. How? By allowing water to drip slowly to the roots of plants, either onto the soil surface or directly onto the root zone through network of valves, pipes, tubing and emitters. So this is how you can conserve water sources. Thank you.